One by One. Written by Courier and read by Goombasa. Chapter 1. Reset. You can't regret hard choices your whole life, right? This was the only place in the underground where you could see the sky. If you placed your back against the wall of this dank cavern, heedless to the stones scraping against your spine, and turned up your head just so, you would glimpse it, that thin blue crescent at the outer edge of the cave mouth above, that merest hint of color. It would disappear completely at night. It would never be enough to see the stars. But sunlight lanced in anyway, and pooled in the center of this cave, where the earth lay rich, and golden flowers clustered by the dozens. Their stalks waved in unseen breezes, their pollen faintly smelled like sweet lemons. The two of them sat cross-legged in the splash of color, their striped shirts garish in the fading light. Asriel sat with his hands on his knees. The stubby fangs at the end of his muzzle sparkled.
Well, not that I have much of a life left, he smiled. But that's beside the point.
Asriel's smiles never reached his eyes. The rest of his face made an effort. All the right muscles worked, but his eyes stayed sunken and dim, the brows hanging low. It made him look much older than he should have been. The same went for the boy sitting across from him. His own eyes were perpetually half-lidded, his mop of hair askew. His disheveled appearance gave him the impression of someone who was always fighting to stay awake. He never seemed to smile at all.
Be careful in the outside world, okay? Despite what everyone thinks, it's not as nice as it is here.
The flowers bent, as if in agreement.
Frisk? Don't kill, and don't be killed, all right?
Asriel's expression turned wistful.
That's the best you can strive for.
Frisk nodded.
Well, see you.
Several seconds passed. Frisk made no sign of getting up. Asriel tilted his head, then laughed a little awkwardly.
Frisk, he said, don't you have anything better to...
Confusion flitted across his face. He put one hand to his head and gently massaged his scalp.
Huh, that's funny. I feel like I've said that before. Right here, like this.
He tried to smile again.
I'm not surprised, after all those resets I did.
Frisk reached out and took his hand.
Huh?
Frisk enclosed both his palms over Asriel's own. Asriel's fur felt like terry cloth against his skin. His hair fell over his face. His expression was inscrutable.
Wow, you're, really holding on tight.
Asriel put his own hand on top of Frisk's.
Hey, come on. I'll be fine. You don't want to keep all your friends waiting.
Slowly, Frisk shook his head. He released his grip and stood up. His gaze lingered on Asriel for a moment longer. Then he carefully stepped around the flowers and out of the sunlight. Around the patch of vegetation, the shadows were so deep as to be almost solid. Anything that stepped into them lost its outline, its color bled into the surrounding black. Frisk's shoes squeaked on the stones, his two-toned shirt turned monochrome. Just before he disappeared, he turned and saw Asriel sitting where he'd left him, head bowed low. His ears twitched gently in the breeze. The green and yellow of his own shirt blended with the flowers. Already he resembled the plants themselves. Asriel raised his head, then turned to Frisk. He lifted his hand and waved. Frisk waved back. The sound of distant bird song faded. The smell of sweet pollen gave way to earth and damp. Frisk left Asriel behind and did not turn around again. The stained stone arch to the ruins loomed like an open mouth. The waiting dark filled him with determination. To be continued. Hey there, thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you'd like, you can check out some of the other videos I've done via the links provided here. Also, if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter, support me on Patreon, subscribe to my channel, or take a look at some information about commissioning me for audio, video, and writing assistance or editing. And if you're just sick of me in general, just follow that recommended video link to somebody entirely different. Bye bye for now, and I hope you have a wonderful day.